Welcome back to SK Hobbies AZ. So we are going to be starting a new complete series. So this is going to be several parts. So we've got it broke down into two different rigs that we're going to build in the crawler world. As you can see, they are right here. So this is going to be awesome. So the SCX-10-2 Raw Builder's Kit, we are going to be building that for my wife, and that's going to be her next new primary crawler. And on the bottom here, the Enduro Builder's Kit. It's the Builder's Kit 2. We're going to be building for myself. So just kind of let you guys know, I am still waiting on this kit to come in. This actually isn't there. You can see it's a picture. So that's on its way. We've got everything else already, and we're going to be breaking this down into kind of a budget build. So we set our budget at $600 per rig. And I'm going to do introductory videos for each one, talking about what processes we're going to do first. But I do have all the parts over here on the table, and I'm going to walk you through what we purchased for both. And then kind of talk about how we stayed within the budget. I can tell you now this Enduro kit is going to cost us a little bit more just because of some of the hardened plastic parts we're going to purchase for it, put me above the $600 budget. But needless to say, I've been told that if you run this kit in the, with the standard parts in it, you're still going to have a successful rig. But I wanted to have one that was going to perform out of the box, and Enduro has, they are a Team Associated owned company. It's a branch of Team Associated. So same thing that they did in their buggy line with, the Team Associated. They had different scales of plastic parts. And so they came out with the basic scale for the builder's kit and for also their ready-to-run kits, and you can buy the harder plastic parts for those buggies, if you wanted to. Same thing you can do with the Enduro kit. They have hardened parts for some of your main plastic things, like your chassis rails, your battery box, your shock towers, your bumpers. But let's get over to the workbench, and we'll talk about the parts for both of these kits. Just letting you guys know this isn't here. So when you get over there, you're not going to see this. It should be here this week, and I'm going to start building the Enduro first. And that'll be the first set of videos that are going to come up, and then the SCX-10-2 build will come up after that. So before I go over there, I'm just going to let you know, I'm not going to do build videos on each one of these where you guys are going to watch me in Speed Vision build this. There's enough of those videos out there. I'm more worried about getting information out to you guys on, a budget build. So if anybody's got any other questions or concerns, jump down into the comments. You guys can also find me on Facebook. There's a link in the description for that. But let's go talk about what we're going to put into these rigs. All right, so as you can see, the SCX-10-2 is not here, but it will be. It's going to be here this week. We'll talk about the kit here in a minute. Let's move that out of the way. So we'll start at the bottom, working our way up. So both rigs, we're going to run the same electronics. We're going to run the same tires. So that's going to take that portion out of the mix. So we won't have any confusion about these, the performance of it based on the tires. The wheels are going to be the same on them too. So what we purchased were for tires, and we're not going to run dual stage foams right now. We're just doing a budget build, right? So we've got the Pro line. These are the BFG or BFG Good Wrench Mud Terrain TAs KM3. It's the blue label, 1.9 tires with the G8 compound. There's a lot of talk about running the Predator compound. But I hit my forums and Facebook groups out here in Arizona, and it's a 50-50 split on what material you want to run. Primarily, I found that a lot of people were going with the G8 compounds right here, and they were performing very well, especially in the warmer seasons out here. And being that I live in Arizona, it's hot. We have a lot of warm weather. Colder weather, the G8s perform pretty good with the colder weather. So where they use that Predator compound is when it is super hot out. It seems to be a lot more stickier to the rocks. But I feel that this is going to be a good start for us. We're going to run the G8 compound, and then maybe eventually in a future upgrade, we might buy a second set of tires and get that Predator compound, and we'll do a comparison on those two. But anyways, we got the G8 compounds for both rigs. Exact same tires. Rim wise, to stay within the budget, I didn't want to go super expensive on them, so we went with these Enjoras. So we have the Enjora aluminum rims, and we're going to run the black on black rims right here. We're going to run those on the SCX-10-2 build, and then I've got the black and I guess it's gunmetal color right here. We're going to be running those on the Enduro. So same rims, just different color. Let's talk about the electronics. So ESCs, we got the identical. We're going to run the Hobby Wing 1080 ESCs. So they're tried and true. People use them and love them. They work really good. It's within the budget. I think they were only like $43 at A-Main. So got identical ESCs. And when I do the build for the Enduro, after I get it built, we're going to do an unboxing of the electronics before I get it installed. So you guys will see kind of a halfway point, and we'll talk about the electronics. So we've got those. All right, we're going to talk about the motors now. We're running the identical motors in both. We're running the Holmes Hobby Crawlmaster Sports, the 540 can. It's the brush, 16T in each, right? So unlike the ones that I put in my Gen 8, the ones that I put in the Gen 8 are the Trailmasters, and those were the 12Ts. Holmes Hobby doesn't recommend them in there, but a lot of people in the forum recommended it, and they actually performed very good. Oh, sounds like my batteries are done. I got to go crawling. I'll be back. Just kidding. Hold on. Let me go fix that. All right, so, and those Trailmasters, believe they are, okay, so I believe that the Trailmasters are a 3-slot, but don't quote me on that. But these ones here are a 5-slot, so it's got more connection to the spindle in the inside, or the rotor. So we should get some really good performance out of these. We'll probably also look at upgrading to maybe the Pro line or the Expert line down the road, which is going to be a much better, solid motor. But we started with the budget side, so we're going to do this at first and get them up and running. So we got the motors out of the way. So electronics, the rest of the electronics, right? Did a lot of soul searching on when I bought these. Listened to a show called That Scale RC Show, and they highly recommend them. I've never bought this brand before, but these are MKS HBL 550s. So that's kind of what they look like. It's kind of hard to see because it's like a smoked case, but there's you can see where it's MKS HBL 550s. So I needed to stay within that $600 budget, so that's what I did. Is I wanted to get good servos in it. I think I'm going to be very happy with these. I'm running the Hex Flies in my Gen 8s over here, and behind me in the Bashers, we're running those Power Hobby 729 MBLs. Yeah, I think it's the 729 MBLs, and those those power hobbies, really successful, and they're very, very fast and all that stuff. And that's what I was going to get for these crawlers. But I decided we were going to give them a shot, and we're going to try these MKSs out. I have high hopes for them. It's an all metal geared servo. It's a brushless motor, ultra torque. So when we do our unboxings of the electronics, we'll pull these guys out and we'll talk about them and see. And maybe we'll hook everything up on the table before putting it in and just see how quick it goes before I get it installed. And we'll test everything out. So that kind of sums up the electronic side. Controller wise, I'm going to use my Spectrum controller, so there's no cost associated with that. And that's the DX5C. Both me and my wife have them for our two bashers, our Armas behind us. So we're going to kind of use the same thing. And I already had some of these receivers for them, the Spectrum receivers. I had spare ones. These were actually supposed to go in my Gen 8 for us to run those, but we're going to go ahead and put these in the Enduro and the Axial rig. So we're excited about that. Now, the other thing that's shared completely with these is I picked up some Samex brass hexes. Now, these are the 8mm width. So these are the heavier ones. And that's all I think we're going to throw on it for weight. We want to try to keep that 60-40 split. So we're just going to put these on for now and see how it performs. And that pretty much gets us right to that $600 budget. When I do the introductory on this one, which will be the next video, so you guys will see that here soon with the introductory and the unboxing of this bad boy. We'll talk about those, what that cost is. We'll throw it up on the screen so everybody can see it. All right, so this guy also doesn't come with a pinion gear. So based on the rest of the Enduro line, the ready to runs, I picked up the same size pinion gear, which is an 18 tooth, and they are a 48 pitch pinion gear. Now on the Axials, it comes with the pinion gear, but it's actually a different pitch. They're running a 32 pitch on there. So you can't move those back and forth. But the shaft sizes are going to be the same on these for our Holmes Hobby motors right here. So just be careful if you're doing either or. Just remember that it's a different pinion gear. So now, let me get this out of the way real quick. So by some of the recommendations I've seen both on Facebook and some of the the forums that I've been part of, and then of course the guys at that Scale RC show kind of ran some ideas past them. This is kind of what they recommended. And also there's another channel out there, RC Review. That guy's amazing, and he does a really good build on one of these Enduros. And I kind of watched a couple of his videos, and he kind of recommended the same thing. But in this, it comes with plastic ball, these ball ends. And so I picked up a set from A-Main. They have and they're for the AE line, which is the Enduro line. So I picked up a pretty good supply. I don't think I'm going to use all of these, so I'll have some spares, but I picked that up. And then we've got these are the 3 different packs that we're going to start with for the hardened plastic parts. There are more you can get. You could probably spend an additional, $60 on buying all of the hard parts for it. But these are the common ones that you're going to break or that are going to cause the chassis flex in this guy, which is this bad boy right here, which is your gearbox and servo mount. I got that in hard, right? So you're not going to get that movement of the servo. And then you got your gearbox underneath, so you're not going to get that gearbox movement. And then this is the frame mounting plates. So these are the 2 that you need for the chassis and for the frame to help keep it so you don't get that side-to-side torsion right there. So I got those in the hard plastic. And then I got the shock tower mounts. So These are mount on the side, so you're not going to get that flex like this on your shocks or the movement that you're going to get out of the standard ones. So I'm assuming, being that me and my wife do just a lot of trailing, we don't do a lot of crawling, that it wouldn't make too big of a difference. But we're going to put these on. We put them in with the budget. And like I said, we went a little bit over the $600 budget. I want to say it was about $630 is what this whole kit put together for the Enduro ran. And we were actually under $600 for the SCX 10.2 builder's kit. So looks like I kind of took some money out of the other builder's kit to get the Enduro built up. And that's primarily where these plastic pieces and the ball ends that pushed me over. Now, the builder's kits themselves, the Enduro kit, I believe, was $249. And I purchased that actually from Horizon Hobby. And the SCX 10.2 builder's kit, I ordered through my local hobby shop here, which they got through Horizon Hobby, and it was about $10 less. So it's about $239 and some change. So not too much of a difference there in the cost. I was looking for about a $10 difference in the build, but it ended up being like about a $40 difference because I, spent $30 on some extra stuff. All right, so I did forget one thing that we didn't talk about these builds. So let's talk about the bodies we're going to put on. So what we got is, for the Enduro, I am going to put, and they're both Proline bodies, but I got the Gladiator Proline crawler body. This is part number 3535-00, and this is the Rubicon Clear for the 12.3 wheelbase scaled crawlers, which you can kind of see. But anyways, so I know that there's going to be some issues getting this mounted on. We're going to have to do a little bit of adjustment of the receiver box, and we're going to have to relocate that back. So this body, because the body is narrower. So I already understand that might be an issue, but I didn't want a full-size Jeep body. So I decided I was going to go with this Gladiator body, and we're going to see what we can do. And I got all kinds of plans for the future of doing a cage on the back. I'm probably going to cut off the bed itself and build kind of a cage off the back with do kind of a mock-up Overlander, but a little bit different. So we got that going for here. And then we're going to go the opposite. And so this might be a little funny to you guys. We put a Jeep body on the Enduro, and we're going to put a Toyota body on the SCX 10.2. But my wife loves her 4Runner, so I picked her up an old school 4Runner. We've got the 1991 Toyota 4Runner, and this is the clear body for the 12.3 wheelbase scale crawler. So it's the old school 4Runner. You can see right there, part number 3481. So we got that. And she's got a paint scheme picked out, and we'll talk about the paint scheme, a little bit later. But she wants to go like desert tan, and she wants the I believe it's the red, orange, and yellow striping on it. So we're gonna figure out some pen striping to do that. Probably my brother-in-law just got a vinyl cutter, so we're gonna do some vinyl cutting, and he's gonna help me out and get it cut for us on what we need in the size, and then we're gonna get it put on there. I'm also gonna do the sunroof's gonna get kind of a smoked color to it, and we're gonna smoke the windows to kind of tint them in. So it'll be pretty cool. And we're gonna do some gunmetal gray on it to accent some of the parts. So it'll be kind of like a two-toned desert tan and a smoked gray. Now, finding the desert tan, they just don't make it unless you're going to do it in airbrushing. So It might be more of that champagne color, but we'll see. We'll see. We're not totally set on it, but you know, she did want the desert tan look. And then I believe with the Gladiator body, we are going to do something kind of completely different on it. We're going to do kind of a pearl in coat, and then behind the pearl in coat, we're going to use this speckling color that I believe that Tamaya refers to it as lame. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to back it in gunmetal gray. So we're going to have kind of the pearl and speckle and gunmetal mix into it. So should be pretty cool. Or it'll be a big mess. I don't know. I've not painted any bodies in probably 10 years. So we'll give it a shot. But all right. Other than that, I think that we covered everything. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and bash that bell. I'm Stitch, SK Hobbies AZ, and I'm out.